be an amazing event. You don't want to miss it. You do not want to miss it. All right? Remember, the theme for this first of its kind is broadcast media pathway to unlocking Delta's possibility. The takeaway is that at the end of the day, whatever is learned at this conference will be translated to the media houses. It will help in better local content creation, better creativity, better storytelling, inspiring stories, and of course, the individuals here as well will be built on how to work professionally in the broadcast media industry. You can call it some form of mentorship because we have veterans here, people with loads of years of experience in the broadcast media industry here talking to us, inspiring us with their journey and their story. So once again, like I said, it's the first of its kind happening in Delta State, and it's the hope that this initiative will continue for many, many years to come. It's here to stay. Big shout out to the convener, Ruki Onoro, for putting this together. Big shout out to the local organizing committee as well. A team of amazing media professionals. Big shout out to the Delta State government for collaborating with the Delta Broadcast Media Organization to put together this first of its kind event happening in Delta State. Once again, my name is Fresh Prince. I'm your red carpet host. I'm a presenter on Eku 91.1 FM, located on plot 001 Eku Abraka Expressway in Eku, Delta State. It will be my honor to navigate you through the red carpet, talking to amazing personalities from the broadcast industry, sharing their stories, sharing their experiences, and of course, we'll get to learn more from this event. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Come closer to me. Come closer to me. Welcome. Good morning.
Come closer now.
Yes. Welcome. What's the name, sir?
That becomes a problem.
Why, sir?
Because what I know as my name may not be my name. It could be that what they call me is different from what I know as my name.
Anyone, your on-air name, your stage name,
I don't have any.
Your common parlance name,
I don't have
accept
any.
it.
I don't have any. My name is Felix
Okay.
Ofo.
Welcome to this very first of its kind broadcast media conference happening in Delta State.
Yeah.
So you've seen the setup, you've seen the arrangement. What's your take about this event?
Okay.
First impressions.
I think what I've seen so far, it's good. I like the awareness. I like the awareness that has come with this, and it is my hope that it will not just be a talk shop, it will lead to the expansion and growth of the broadcast industry.
Sure.
Not just the South, and of course, Nigeria.
What is the major challenge affecting the broadcast industry in Nigeria?
Okay, the first thing is a lot of people bring their flair. They are not true. And because most OAPs see themselves because of the eloquence that comes with their flair, they become unteachable.
Sure.
And they don't want to respect the rules.
Sure.
And that becomes a problem.
Sure.
Because they say power without control is tragedy. And we have seen that several people of the camera or in front of the mic, and they take liberty for license. And sometimes you find the malady in society caused by this use of power of the tongue.
Sure. Yeah. All right, just before I let go, who are you most looking forward to seeing today or speaking at this conference?
Okay, I'm interested more in the younger ones, upcoming OAPs, those who think they have a fair and who have taken it upon themselves at this stage to want to learn.
Sure.
Because they are the future. A lot of the old names are oversold. And they are not often, you ask me. Looking forward to the young.
Happening here is the Delta Broadcast Media Conference, a gathering of broadcast professionals from Delta State across major TV and radio stations under one roof to discuss critical issues affecting the broadcast industry. My name is Fresh Prince and I'm your red carpet host. Joining me right now is the General Manager of DBS Warri, Mr. Malcolm Oteri. Pastor Malcolm, pardon me. Thank you very much, sir, for joining me on the red carpet. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Hope your journey down here was smooth.
Very, 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 very. You know, our governor is doing fantastically well. Journey from Warri to Asaba, we used to be about 3 hours now. Within 2 hours, you are here. The road is very, very good now. So we came here. In fact, we are very impressed as we are driving down.
All right, so welcome. First impressions. What would you say as it concerns this first of its kind broadcast media conference happening in Delta State?
Honestly, as soon as I entered, I was excited. The beauty, the color, the glamour, this is what we have always wished for in broadcasting in Delta State. And we are happy that we are seeing it happening in our own very time. I must commend the organizers for this vision, and I must commend the Delta State government for buying into it. We have come, and I know that we are going to have a very great time today. It's wonderful. It's very beautiful.
All right, sir. So a quick one. Let's say, because we have a gathering of broadcast media professionals, veterans across different platforms, TV, radio, here in Delta State, and even some from outside Delta State. So a quick one. Let's say I give you 1,000 naira note, which is the highest denomination, and I ask you, redesign it and put someone's picture, a broadcast legend, based on your years of experience. Who would you put on that 1,000 naira?
Of course, I'll put my own staff.
No, that was being biased. Except your own staff, except yourself.
Okay, fact of it is that Samuel Fijoko is a broadcaster I've admired over the years. He has retired now, but he's still in the profession. He's one of the organizers of this show. I love him. He's handsome. He's excellent on air. And he has been an inspiration for the younger ones till now. So if I should have anyone to serve as a model of broadcasting, whose picture I will immediately suggest that should be there, I will pick Sam Fijoko.
All right, so quick one too as well. Radio or TV, which is your preference?
I prefer radio. I've been a radio person right from the start. I've done
So why radio?
Radio, because of the immediacy, gets to the people. It has the fastest, the best access to the people. With my phone here, I can be on radio. In my car, I can be on radio. There are many channels through which I can be on radio, unlike the television, although now television too is coming online now, but it used to be the fastest. So I be on radio, and all the nooks and crannies of the state, people call me to say they hear me. Even where there is no electricity, radio has access to such places. So that's one of the reasons I love radio.
Thank you very much, sir, for gracing our red carpet. And of course, we hope you have a nice time at this tonight's event. Yes. Thank you very much. You're welcome, sir. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are live on the red carpet. Is the very first edition of the 2025 Delta Broadcast Media Conference happening at Unity Hall here in Government House. So like I told you, we have a gathering of like minds, broadcast media professionals from across Delta State, from different major radio stations, television stations, gathered here together to discuss critical issues as it affects the media, the broadcast media industry. All right, I have amazing people joining me right now.
Hello.
Good morning. It's still morning.
Yeah, it's the morning. Good morning. Yeah.
Mr. CJ is here. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
All right, so please just tell us your name real quick, please.
All right, my name is Onome Ibarue. I'm the jewel of the airwaves on 97.9 FM and the Assistant General Manager of Television Services, Delta Broadcasting Service, DBS, Asaba, to the world.
That's quite a mouthful. Take some breath. All right,
All
we
right.
have Mr. CJ.
Yeah, my name is
Introduce
CJ Nwaje, the senator himself, also an assistant general manager, Delta Broadcasting Service. This time, Warri.
All right, thank you very much.
Worry.
And Asaba.
See that?
Great. So thank you very much for coming on the red carpet.
Yeah.
As we all know, this is a gathering of like-minds, broadcast professionals are here. In just a very short sentence, your impression so far of the conference being its very first.
Yes, my impression about this conference from day one, that it was conceived as being, okay, this is a conference that's going to happen right here in our state, and it's going to make a huge difference in the broadcast media industry here. And coming here this morning to see everywhere so beautiful, everywhere lit for this conference, I'm confident in my spirit that it's going to work out for good for us in the Delta State media space.
All right, there are people
Yeah.
who have this perception that mainstream media is dying, is old-fashioned. You understand? Nobody watch TV or listen to radio. Imagine you were sent out to defend the broadcast media industry and say, no, that's not true. What would be your punchlines?
All right, there is no disputing the fact that mainstream media is still very strong. For those who know the broadcast tradition, they rely mostly, majorly on mainstream media. So that's why we're here. Delta Broadcasting Service, DBS, Asaba. Delta Broadcasting Service, DBS, Warri. We are very strong. That idea, that notion of the mainstream media is dying is a no-no for some of us. Strongly, and we know what we're dishing out, and we know how much of followership and viewers we in our broadcast medium. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
10 over 10. I
10
like
over 10,
that. All right, sir. So, I mean, you've had an extensive career in the broadcast media industry.
Okay.
So, what would you say has been the most inspiring moment for you in your decade of being a broadcaster?
Well, I want to say that today happens to be one of it.
Wow.
It's
nice.
like a homecoming.
Nice.
Meeting some of your colleagues that you've not met for years. Reminiscence of, the good old days. And that's what we want to bring back in broadcasting. That it's not just about DBS, Warri, or Asaba.
True.
It's about the profession.
The community.
Let's bring it back. Let's reactivate it. Let's call the attention of critical stakeholders. It will not die. For those who believe that the mainstream, is fading away, it's a lie from the pit of hell. We won't allow that. We won't allow that.
I like
We
that.
won't.
Before I let you guys go real quick,
Yes.
you guys will be in the best position to answer this question. So, the 1,000 Naira note is our highest denomination. So let's
For
say
now.
for now. So let's say you were to redesign it and put a picture of the greatest broadcaster of all time. Who would you put? From the state, not yourself though.
I will go for Mr. Patrick Oko.
Okay. Can you tell us more about him?
Yes, he happened to be my boss then, though retired now,
Okay.
still living anyway.
Okay.
He's a legend.
Okay.
What some of us are doing today, he mentored us, he tutored us, he taught us, and I think I give it to him.
Noted. What about you?
I'll go with Ruth Benemesia of here. She's been my idol. She's been my mentor all the way.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming on the red carpet. Have
Thank
fun
you.
inside.
All right.
You're welcome.
So that's
Ah.
kind of presentation.
Yes. What's still live on the red carpet is the very first edition of Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2025. The theme is Pathway to Unlocking Delta's Possibilities. And we have a gathering of broadcast media professionals, as you can see, my colleagues, here tonight to have a swell time. Welcome. Thank you. Join me on the red carpet. All right. We have the General Manager, Delta Broadcasting Service, Asaba. Good morning, ma.
A very good morning to you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
First off, you're looking very good.
I appreciate it.
I love the steez and the composure.
Thank you.
All right, so this is the first of its kind Delta Broadcast Conference happening in Delta State. I'm pretty sure other states will be jealous of us right now.
Well, it's okay.
Yes.
They're welcome to be jealous. It's a good thing.
So first things first, what's your impression so far with what you've seen walking in?
Simply put, I'm impressed.
And okay, so what do you think is the next step for the broadcast industry? Because this is good to host the conference. After this, what do you think is the next step for the broadcast industry?
Welcome,
What I would
distinguished
say
ladies
is,
and
first and
gentlemen.
foremost, I'd like to
Please, for those who are
celebrate the
still
convenience,
outside, please
the
make your
role
way
and
in.
of course, the LOC
We're about to
Mr.
start.
Samuel Fijo.
Thank you very
They've
much.
done a very good job putting this
Please, if you
together.
have persons outside,
For nothing
beckon on
else,
them to
convergence
make themselves
in the
available. We're about to
minds
start.
On topics
Thank you very much.
Grow broadcasting is already 100% for me. It's a plus for the media industry. So what I will say is let's wait and see what the combo is as far as this meet is concerned. Whatever we take away from here, I am sure would advance the media space.
There are people who hold this perception that mainstream media, TV, radio is dying in old fashion, and because we have social media now taking over. What would be your own counter argument to such perception?
When you say counter argument, I don't think that's needful here.
Okay.
It's not a point for argument. We're here to meet minds, as I already said. One thing that's consistent with society is, how will I say, dynamism.
Okay.
Society is dynamic,
Sure.
ever evolving.
Sure.
So, the presence or the advent of the social media notwithstanding, what I expect and what we are doing as a traditional media is to harness what the social media, what the new media is bringing on board. We're harnessing that. So for the traditional media, I would say we're even more at advantage because we have our terrestrial, we have our satellite platforms, and we also have our social media or online presence. So we are even on top of the game. There's no basis for comparison, and I will say there is no basis for argument because it's a plus for
sure they're
the
listening.
traditional media practitioners.
All right. So a quick one on a lighter note: radio or TV?
My preference,
Yes.
in terms of reaching more to the grassroots, I would go for radio.
Okay.
But in terms of style, panache,
so show your
visibility,
steez.
show your steez, and all of that, some persons would prefer television. But what television does for you is that you have the audio presence and you also have the visual presence. So when both are combined, I'm sure sometimes your message are better communicated via television.
All right. So you want to say one or two words to the convener of this conference?
So the conveners, a big congratulations to you. We hope to do this year on year. And to media practitioners that are here, please let's make the most of this meeting today so that we can advance media, broadcasting, journalism in Delta State.
Thank you very much, Ma.
You're welcome.
Have fun inside.
I'll try.
All right. So we've been talking with amazing personalities, media professionals, broadcast legends right here at the Delta Broadcast Media Conference, the first of its kind happening in Delta State. And so we go inside to hear some of our guest speakers who will be talking to us on how we can tackle issues affecting the broadcast media industry. And at the end of the day, it's our hope that whatever is discussed here will bring about productivity in the media houses, will help build capacity among media professionals. It will help better local content creation, creativity, better storytelling, and of course, generally, better Delta State. My name is Fresh Prince. I've been your red carpet host right here at Unity Hall, Government House, Delta State. Cheers.
Hurry up, I have to go. Looking round, you see other people making faces very cool. Carry me away, far from the circles that never breaks. Hey, hey, hey. Going home, where this road goes I already know, where everybody cares for one another, and they take you as their sister. Ayo, 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 ayo. Where the children run around, there's laughing in the crowd. I hope it still remains the same. Ayo, 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 ayo. And there's something in the song that makes you feel at home, and that's what's calling out my name. Ayo, ayo. All up and they're ready for takeoff, so I can fly away. Houses getting small the world, and I had a sunny day, dreaming of me on stage. 5 years of age and I'm not afraid. Hey, going home, where this road goes I already know, where everybody cares for one another, and they take you as their brother. Ayo, 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 ayo. Where the children run around, there's laughing in the crowd. I hope it still remains the same. Ayo, 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 ayo. Where there's something in the song that makes you feel at home, and that's what's calling out my name. Ayo, ayo, oh. Would it take me and embrace me as your own? Would it take me and embrace me as your own? Ayo, 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 ayo. Where the children run around, just laughing in the crowd. I hope it still remains the same. Ayo, 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 ayo. Where there's something in the song that makes you feel at home, and that's what's calling out my name. Ayo, 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 ayo.
What I'm about to talk about is something classic and phenomenal. It's about the broadcast station and the media. This one's gonna be one of a kind, audible to the deaf and visible to the blind. Well, for the first time in Delta State, we're bringing all the media houses to collaborate, discussing as well having a healthy debate. On the 16th of May, you should remember the date. Well, we'll be having Rufai Hosseini and other professionals to speak about the way forward, also enlighten us. To all you lovers of the media, this is an invitation you can't afford to be missing out. Well, and big shout out to the Governor Sheriff, His Excellency, in whom we all believe. We know you listen to the voice of the people, and the media houses is a way to hear from the people. 10 a.m. in the morning is the time. At the Unity Hall, we're gonna have a good time. This is for all Deltans and the lovers of the media. We're getting it right this time. This is organized by the DBMO and the Ministry of Information. This is the DBM Conference 2025. DBM Conference. The DBM Conference 2025.
They used to tell me. I hope you learn to make it on your own. And if you love yourself, just know you'll never be alone. I hope that you get everything you want and that you chose. I hope that it's the realest thing that you ever know. Hope you get the pretty girls that's pretty at everything. $1 million cribs, having $1 million dreams. And when you get it all, just remember one thing. Remember one thing. That one man could change the world. That one man could change the world. All All I wanted was $100 million and a bad chick. Imagine this a month, some nights it felt like that I had it. Back on the mattress, staring at the ceiling, trying to connect the dots, but it's all making those attachments. I'm talking dreaming so hard, some nights it felt like draft day, you know. My stepbrother used to flip them bags outside the crib like it was trash day. No Kim K, but he back, yeah. But when you get it fast money, slow down, don't crash. With all the drive in the world, swear you still need gas. Look, think about it. Close your eyes, dream about it, tell your team about it. Go make $1 million schemes about it. Success is on the way, I feel it in the distance. Used to look up at the stars and be like, ain't too much that's different. I be shining, they be shining. Get your one shot, don't you miss it. What you know about waking up every day like you on a mission. And I hope you learn to make it on your own. And if you love yourself, just know you'll never be alone. I hope that you get everything you want and that you chose. I hope and it's the realest thing that you ever know. Hope you get the pretty girls, it's pretty and everything. $1 million cribs, having $1 million dreams. And when you get it on, just remember one thing. Remember one thing. One man could change the world. One man could change the world. My grandma told me, if you write your name in stone, you'll never get the white out. I grinded out that black hole, then performed up at the White House, standing next to Jim Carrey. We traded stories, then laughed. I said, you're not the only one I know got rich wearing masks. Where I'm from, I swear they broke. They need way more than the cash. We need more than what you have, and then we need more than that. But how I'm supposed to say I'm tired if that girl from West Virginia came up in conditions that I couldn't survive? Went to war, came back alive. On top of that, became a female black captain. When being black, you had to extra try. Way before James Brown made us proud. She bought a crib on the same street as Marvin Gaye, right there on how to drive. And she taught me how to drive. And she raised the kids, then the kids, and she did it right. Taught me how to love, taught me not to cry. When I die, I hope you teach me how to fly. All my life you've been the angel in the sky.
You thought it was better for them to blame themselves for everything than you admitting to falling out of love. You're avoiding guilt. It's not worth it. I regret it. It was me, you know. I wasn't in love. I just loved being loved. And you gave me hope. I hoped I'd fall for you. God, I tried. But I couldn't. So I put the blame on you. For mistakes a kiss could easily fix, and like a fool, I figured it would make me happy.
One man, one city, one night, one street, one journey, one dream. One chance, one opportunity. You know, get as the matter one be. Nobody can be like me. So many sacrifices. Damn it, sorrow. Timothy Badura Nikoro. But them people say, what's up for me? Kill on shit. Miss up for one. With dancing. What's up for me? Kill on shit. Miss a phone, but dance it. Once a for me, kill on go. Miss a phone, but dance it. Once a for me, kill on shit. Miss a phone, but dance it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. But dance it, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. What I see, yeah. What I see, my guy, what I see. The people with me, they ate the plenty. They me the whip, make a fair patiently. They want steal my shine on your shit. I'm just
tryna survive, I just wanna win. But these enemies, they want kinda me. Timothy Pella Dami Sora, Timothy Badurani Kora. But them people say, what's up for me? Kill on shit, miss up for one. What I see, what's up for me? Kill on shit, miss up for one. What I see, what's up for me? Kill on cup, miss up for one. What I see, what's up for me? Kill on shit, miss up for one. What I see, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. What I see, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. What I see, rich. Just what I need is some time to tell you, please. One man, one city, one night, one street, one journey. I did not please, and it is just what it is. But I just wanna need my life, I barely breathe. You're what I need, I admit it, I admit. No one could ever love me better than you did. No one could ever love me better than you did. I could have thought these feelings would cease, but then I miss you laying in my sheets. Sure you don't see as my heart didn't bleed. I don't wanna lose you to what I did. And for that, that place the highest bid. Give me an offer, I just can't resist. And for pidgin and English, I just speak.
Thank you very much, DJ. Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I can't hear you. Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. All right, that's more like it. All right, we're getting there. Okay, so it's a beautiful day, a day that we have all been looking forward to. And we are super glad and grateful to God that this day is finally upon us. So for those of you here already seated, can you please give yourselves a round of applause for making it here this morning? Thank you so much. Your presence here speaks volumes. It tells us that indeed we all agree that we desperately need a change in the broadcast industry here in Delta State, and your representation speaks to that effect. One more time, a round of applause for yourselves for being here. Thank you so much for being here, for taking out the time to be here.
Really quick, I think we haven't introduced ourselves. So.
Yes, I know we haven't done that.
But we would quickly want to start on the note of spirituality. Delta State is known for its rich culture and spirituality, and we believe that when we start this way, we would definitely get to have a positive outing today.
Exactly.
So, for our opening prayer, please, shall we be on our feet? Thank you very much.
And please, if you're a man here with a cap on, please just respectfully take off your caps so we can honor God and honor his presence here. So we'll have the opening prayer. All right, taking us through the opening prayer, we have Ife Double O from DBS Asaba.
Hallelujah. We give you glory, Lord, as we honor you. Somebody sing with me. We give you glory. We give you glory, Lord, as we honor you. For you are wonderful. You are worthy, oh Lord. You are wonderful. You are worthy. One more time, you are wonderful. We are here to give you thanks, Lord. You are worthy of our praise. You are wonderful. You are wonderful. You are worthy, oh Lord. And so, our dear Lord in heaven, we want to thank you because we know that you are a wonderful God. Thank you for the privilege to be here again. Thank you for the opportunity granted unto us to be alive, to celebrate, to be here to discuss as media personalities and professionals. Lord, we thank you for the opportunity. We thank you for the life. We thank you for the convener. We thank you for the panelists. We thank you for the participant. We thank you for the local organizing committee. Lord, we give you all the glory and thanks in the name of Jesus. Lord, we ask that you continue with us, all that we're going to discuss. We pray that you give us and grant us our earnest heart desires, that at the end of today, all glory, honor, power, majesty will be returned to your name. For we ask this through Jesus Christ our Lord. We therefore declare this event open in the name of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And let the house shout a bigger amen.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for that powerful one. Please, I want to crave your indulgence once again. Can we please be on our feet as we take the national anthem? Thank you. Thank you very much. You may have your seats.
I was actually expecting a round of applause, but...
Yeah, that deserves a round of applause.
Yes,
Come on,
it does.
go ahead.
Please, a round of applause for our country. We've got just one country, and that's Nigeria. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all looking as beautiful and handsome as you are. And thank you so much for gracing this event.
And talking about looking beautiful and radiant, I mean, you're not looking bad yourself.
By the way, this was not planned.
You look like Delta State in itself.
We had no idea we were going to wear white and blue, but I mean,
you know,
the spirit is one.
It's the color of the day, right?
The spirit is one.
It is what it is. A round of applause for yourselves once again. All right, I'm sure you're looking at us and wondering, okay, so who are they? So it's very expedient we introduce ourselves and why we are here. I want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Nkechi Tejere, professionally known as NK. They call me the radio diva of Rise 106.7 FM Warri, Delta State. Thank you very much. And also, I work with Atlantic TV as well, also in Delta State. So it's a pleasure to be your host for this very auspicious occasion. Thank you very much.
Please, a round of applause for the beautiful NK. Okay, so my name is Eric Samuel Chinwike, popularly known on radio as FINNEST Finest. Well, you can also call me the CEO Audio Dogulizer. I am a broadcast journalist with Trend 100.9 FM here in the city of Asaba. Thank you very much. It's good to be here with you.
And it's so good to know that we are all here present for this very future-shaping event. This actually speaks volumes. This is the first ever broadcast media conference in Delta State. So you being here today, you are part of history. Can you put your hands together for yourselves for being here? Thank you so much for taking our time. We have media professionals, government agencies, government officials. We have industry shapers, we have content creators. I mean, everyone in the media space basically is here today.
Yes, indeed. And we will take it one after the other, but we would not start that list without recognizing the number one person here in Delta State.
Of course. So you know who that is. Come on, a round of applause for your governor, my governor,
Our
His
governor.
Excellency, Governor Sheriff Oberwari. Is that how you celebrate
Please,
your
you can
own?
make the hands
You
bigger.
are sitting down to celebrate your own. Oh my God. Can we appreciate our own number one man in the state right now? Put your hands together for His Excellency. And yes, he may not be here physically, but his presence is felt here, and he is humbly represented by the Commissioner for Information, for Public Information and Works, Rural Roads, the very Honorable Charles Anyago. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. We really, truly appreciate your presence here. He has been a great support to this conference, and we are so, so glad and grateful that he is here today.
Also recognizing with us this morning is the General Manager, Bielsa TV, and Chairman of the Broadcast Organization of Nigeria, South, in the person of Mr. Frederick Fabo. Please, a round of applause for him.
A round of applause for him. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. We appreciate your presence. And of course, we also have here representing the Honorable Commissioner for Economic Planning from the Ministry of Economic Planning, in the person of Mr. Charles Iyoha, the Special Assistant to the Honorable Commissioner of Economic Planning. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. We appreciate your presence. We are also aware that we have general managers from the different radio and TV stations in Delta State also well represented. And of course, we will be appreciating them one after the other. But before we get into all of that, we want to first of all recognize the presence of the general manager all the way from the Delta Broadcasting Service, Warri, Pastor Malcolm Oteri. He's here. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. We appreciate your presence. We also have with us here the general manager of Mega 89.1 FM Warri, and also one of our guests for today in the person of Mr. Peter Nwoche, also here. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. We appreciate your presence. Also, we have the General Manager, Delta Broadcasting Service, Asaba, in the person of Mrs. Christine Emetulu. Thank you so much, ma'am. We recognize your presence. Thank you so much for coming. We also have here present as well, the General Manager, Trend FM Asaba, in the person of Mr. Christopher Belushi. Okay, so he should be somewhere around as well. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. Also with us, and also one of our panelists for today's session, we also have Mrs. Ochugo Orogun. She is right here as well, veteran broadcaster from the Delta Broadcasting Service, Warri. We see you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming. We appreciate your presence.
Well, moving on, we still have special guests and dignitaries in the house. We'll move on to welcome Henrietta Nweraku. I hope I pronounced that well. Nweraku, beg your pardon. Henrietta Nweraku, SSA to the Governor on Media. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming. We recognize your presence. Also with us, we have Mr. Freedom Ashikui, a.k.a. Mr. Jollof, SSA to the Delta State Governor on New Media as well. We celebrate your presence.
Thank you so much for being
coming.
Here.
And also we have seated right here as well, Mr. Ovie Success Osai. He was the SSA to the former governor on media as well. Thank you so much for coming. We represent your presences. We recognize your presence as well.
Well, we have a lot on our list this wonderful morning. So we'll just go through some of the big moments we are yet to expect today on this commission, or should I say conference? Well, we've already had our opening prayer, and we already know that the Delta Broadcast Media Conference start the pathway to unlocking Delta's possibilities, and that possibility lies right here in this room. I believe that at the end of today's conference, we would all walk away renewed, better, and even bigger. To make this a possibility, we will be having we will be having our welcome address, or welcome speech rather, by our convener. And afterwards, we also have a documentary session. We have our guest speakers who would have a panel discussion with us this morning, and as well as a Q&A opportunity for all of us. We would have an opportunity to ask our questions. So I hope we're all here with our pen and papers to make sure that we get to be better. Thank you so much once again for being here.
All right, so before we bring up our convener to give us his keynote address, I want to let you know that we have our guest in the house, okay? In case you don't know, we have Maokbe Ogun Yusuf. I thought you'd put your hands together for her. From Channels Television, ma'am, we celebrate you. We also have Samuel Fejoku as well. He'll be speaking to us as well. Thank you so much, sir. We also have with us Lady Ejiro Umukoro, broadcast specialist. We celebrate you, ma'am. We'll be hearing from this seasoned speakers. Also speaking to us virtually today, we'll have also Rufai Oseni from Arise News. Please, a round of applause for him. And we'll also have our panelists as well. So it's going to be a moment of roundtable discussions. It's going to be a moment of learning, a moment of, discussions that will indeed shape the broadcast industry here in Delta State. You all know why we are here. The theme actually tells it all. The pathway to unlocking the pathway to Delta's possibilities. And like my co-host rightly said, that pathway is right here. Those possibilities are seated right here in this room. There is so much that we can do as an industry, and there is so much more that we are yet to begin to do, and all of that will be unlocking in this conference here today. So you being here, you are part of this history-making event, so I want to celebrate you once again. There's so many people we want to recognize, but we'll do them during the course of the event. But first off, let's bring up stage a very...
Well, before we do that, let's also quickly recognize the presence of the General Manager, Quest TV and Radio, Mr. Basi Babatunde. Please, a round of applause.
A round of applause for him. Thank you so much for coming. And yes, we know that also this morning, a lot of broadcasters came from Warri, came from Ugeli, from Agbor, from the different locations. So if I call your station and you're here, just signify, all right? Can we do that? Do we have Trend FM here? All right, a round of applause for them. Do we have DBS Asaba here? Make some noise. Do we have NTA Asaba here? All right, we celebrate you. Do we have Crown FM Asaba?
And Warri.
All right, Boko FM. All right, do we have...
Rise FM, make some noise.
Woohoo, okay.
Okay.
Do we have Sleek FM Agbo? All right, we see you.
Mega FM.
Mega FM Warri. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Based on who we be now, right?
Quest TV and radio.
All right, amazing.
Do we have persons representing Cruise FM?
All right, we celebrate you.
DBS Warri.
Okay. Amazing stuff. Do we have Eku FM from Eku here? All right, we celebrate you. We celebrate every one of you. Thank you so much for coming. Us being together in the same room speaks volumes. I mean, I cannot overemphasize that enough. It speaks volumes, and it tells us of the agreement that we have together in this conference. So thank you so much for coming. You will indeed be having a great time in this conference here today. Also, we have the Eku FM General Manager. Is she here? Okay, so, all right. All right, so without further ado, I think we should bring up our convener right about now as he comes to give us his keynote address, the brain behind this conference. Please, if your hands are not too busy, put them together as we bring on stage Mr. Rookie Onoro. Come on now, let's celebrate him. Let's celebrate him. You can do better than that now. Celebrate him as he makes his way on stage.
Wow, wow, wow. So today is May 16th after all. Can I have that? Thank you. Good morning, gentlemen of the press. I'd like to specially recognize the eminent personalities that are seated here. I'd like to say a big thank you to our governor, His Excellency, Right Honorable Dr. Sheriff Oboriwori. Please give him a big hand. And I also would love to say a very big warm welcome, though we're expecting him, the Speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly. We have information that's going to be here any minute from now. And my boss, of course, Honorable Charles Anyago. Please let's give our boss a big hand. General managers of the vibrant media houses that are here in Delta State, from Warri to Eku to Hugeli to Asaba to Agbo to Ubolu. You're all welcome. It gives me great joy and profound pleasure to stand before you today on this noble occasion, the maiden edition of the very first convergence of broadcast media personalities in Delta State. For the first time in our dear state, broadcasters from across Delta have gathered under one roof, this prestigious hall, to discuss issues of critical importance to the effectiveness of media, mainstream media, in promoting Delta. I'm indeed very humbled. I'm honored to be the convener of this historic event. It has been a long-held desire in my heart, and I'm very grateful to the monarch of the universe that it has come to fruition today. Why are we here? I guess you might be asking that question. We're here to initiate a conversation, one that is long overdue, on the state of mainstream media in Delta State. We're here to recognize it is not just a tool for information, but a powerful pathway to unlocking the limitless possibilities of our dear state. Mainstream media in Delta once enjoyed a golden era, a time where broadcasters and media outfits were highly respected, valued, and regarded. Today, many of the players in this noble profession no longer enjoy the pride, prestige, and privileges it once offered. This is a profession that has spanned over a century globally, a calling that many of us have pursued with passion for the better part of our lives. Yet our local industry seems to be struggling for attention, struggling for relevance, and struggling for support. This is why this gathering is not just timely, but very necessary. We cannot continue doing the same thing the same way and expect a different outcome. We must reflect, we must realign ourselves, we must reimagine our collective future. the future of Delta State. There is a clear need for harmonization, for strategic restructuring, and for the creation of a unified media framework that speaks to the peculiar realities and aspirations of Deltans. It is from this vision that the Delta Broadcast Media Conference was born, to serve as a platform to chart a sustainable course for our media industry here in our state. While we acknowledge the government cannot do everything, we respectfully urge the government of the day to pay more deliberate attention to mainstream media outfits operating within the state. For example, the last time the Delta State government sponsored a foreign training program overseas for media professionals was in 2003. That's over 2 decades ago. Am I right? And that is too long a gap for an industry so critical to shaping public opinions, driving development, and fostering democratic accountability. In an era where perception shapes investment and storytelling drives transformation, Delta, the big heart of the nation, and indeed the big heart of the world, finds itself at a critical turning point where a state blessed with unmatched potentials, rich in oil and gas, fertile in agriculture, vibrant in tourism, endowed with entertainment, where people whose creativity, courage, and tenacity are undeniable. But potentials, as we know, is not just enough. The challenges before us is not only to grow, but to be seen growing. To not just evolve, but to ensure the world takes note of our evolution. And this is where you and I, our broadcasters, our narrators of truth, culture, and hope, come in. We've seen how media redefined national identity, how Singapore engineered its image of innovation. And here in Africa, Rwanda reintroduced itself as a beacon of peace and progress. And even in our country, Lagos, our commercial and creative capital, has become a masterclass in narrative-driven development. So I ask this question: why not Delta? Why not showcase our mangroves and marketplaces like Ogbogonogo Market? Our luxury and leisure sector quietly rising. The young agricultural innovators in Efurun and Sabele. The creative renaissance blooming in Asaba, which I personally believe is the next big city in Africa. Why not highlight the urban transformation of Ogwashuku, the dynamic, unshakable spirit of the city they call Warri, the spirit that birthed the phrase that is now known and loved globally as Warri no dey carry last. Why not tell these stories with pride, precision, and power? This conference is not just about panels or applause. It is a blueprint for the future, a platform where government, media, and citizens align, where our narrative become part of our state's development architecture. So my honorable colleagues, I love to charge you to not merely be professionals, but be custodians of Delta's next chapter, to rise above routine reporting, to broadcast boldly, to shape stories that unlock our potentials, and to become a voice that inspires a generation to believe in Delta State globally. Thank you for being here. Let the storytelling and let the transformation begin. God bless you, and God bless Delta State.
I thought you can do better than that. Thank you so much, Mr. Ruki Onoro. It's one thing to have a vision. It's another thing to have people that will run with that vision for you. And that's why I want to quickly recognize and appreciate the LOC members. These are the local organizing committee. These are men and women who have joined hands with Mr. Ruki Onoro to make sure that this event comes to life. It has taken months and months of planning, months and months of deliberations.
Sleepless nights.
Sleepless nights. I can tell you for a fact, you know, money's been spent.
Long weekends.
Sacrifices been made. This day did not just come out of the blues, you know. It has taken some, I didn't say months. I'm not talking 2, 3, 4 months. I mean, this has been months of planning. So I want to quickly appreciate these distinguished men and women who have joined hands with our convener to actually make this day a reality. You know, they say it takes two to tango, right? But this is more than two.
Yes, indeed.
This has been more than two. So please, can all the LOC members just come forward? Let's see them and appreciate them. I want to do this real quick. All right? I know they are not expecting this, but I just have to do it. And these men and women, they are not just from Asaba. We have people from Wari. We have some people from Eku. We have some from Ugili. I mean, it's been a collective effort. Can please, all the LOC members,
please a round of applause as they make their way forward.
A round of applause for them.
A round of applause.
A round of applause for them. We have Marigold from Quest TV and Radio Asaba. We have Mr. CJ Wanje from DBS Wari.
We have Mr. Sami Fejoku.
Of course, the LOC chairman as well. We have Mr. Fresh Prince from Eku FM. We have Ifi O from DBS Asaba. We have Mr. Parabotu from DBS Asaba as well. Mr. Uche is not here. He's from NTA Asaba. Can we please put a round of applause? Put your hands together and give them a round of applause. Of course. And of course, my humble self as well.
That explains
yes,
it.
Now I have to call myself. You understand?
You should be there.
No, don't worry. Of course, we have Rita as well. She's somewhere working behind the scene. Oh, okay, she's here as well. Put your hands together from... All right, put your hands together for Rita. So these are the men who have joined hands together, the men and women who have joined hands together with Mr. Ruki to make this a reality.
Indeed.
Can we please put your hands together for them as they go back to their seats? Thank you so much, sirs. Thank you so much, ma'am, for running with this vision. And it has finally come to pass. And I also want to let you know that this is not just a one-off event. We have created something in Delta State. We have started a revolution. And this is an event that will keep going on. So we will be having the next edition, and then the next, and then the next. I thought I would see some hands clapping. By the grace of God, we keep going, and together we can have a transformative Delta all together. Thank you very much.
Well, we still want to recognize some very important persons also. We would start by recognizing Mr. Rex Okiche. I hear he's in the building. Is he somewhere around? Please, a round of applause
Thank
for
you
him.
so
Thank
much
you so much.
for
it's good
coming.
to see you again.
One of our panelists as well.
We also want to recognize Mr. Prince Victor Ifezimmo, SSA Media to the governor. If he's here, please signify.
All right, so
Thank
we
you
see
very
you.
much,
Thank
sir.
you so much, sir, for coming. We celebrate you. Also with us here, one of our panelists. Okay, one of our panelists. We also have, all the way from Lagos State, we have Mr. Osato Edokbayi, aka EDK, right here as well. We see you. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much, sir.
We recognize your presence. And of course, we have in our midst the Vice President, the National Association of Women Journalists, now watching the person of Comrade Stella Macaulay. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming.
ma'am.
We celebrate you, we celebrate you, we celebrate you. Oh my gosh, we have a lot of people here, a lot of people here. And as we go on, definitely we will be recognizing your presence. But wherever you have come from, whether I call your name or not, you are special. Hope you
Indeed.
know. So I celebrate you all. I celebrate you all. All right, taking us to the next level, we have the local organizing committee chairman. in the person of, he will be coming to give us his keynote address. We have the honors of bringing on stage Mr. Samuel Fajoko. He often calls himself a retired broadcaster, but he is not tired. Please celebrate my chairman. Celebrate my chairman. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Or is it afternoon already? All right. Let me start quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues, invited guests, fellow participants, and members of the media. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today at the first Delta Broadcast Media Conference with the theme, Broadcast Media, the Pathway to Unlocking Delta's Possibilities. Now, this gathering represents not just a convergence of minds, but a celebration of the transformative power of media in our society. As we come together in this vibrant state, we are reminded of the unique position Delta State holds in the heart of Nigeria. Our rich cultural heritage, diverse communities, and abundant resources presented with unparalleled opportunities. However, to truly unlock these possibilities, we must harness the power of broadcast media as a catalyst for change, innovation, and growth. Media is more than just a conduit for information. It is a powerful tool for shaping perceptions, driving conversations, and influencing actions. In Delta State, our media landscape is evolving rapidly, with traditional platforms merging with digital innovations. This evolution presents us with both challenges and opportunities. As broadcasters, we have a responsibility to inform, educate, and inspire our audiences. We must strive to provide contents that reflect the realities of our communities while also challenging the status quo. By doing so, we can empower our citizens to engage actively in the democratic process, advocate for their rights, and contribute to the socio-economic development of our state. Today, we stand at a crossroads. The theme, Broadcast Media, the Pathway to Unlocking Delta's Possibilities, invites us to explore how we can leverage our media platforms to unlock the vast potentials that lie within our state. Here are a few key areas we should focus on. 1, promoting local talents and stories. Our state is brimming with talents, artists, entrepreneurs, musicians, change makers, content creators. Now, by showcasing local stories and talents, we can foster a sense of pride and unity among our people, while also attracting investment and tourism. 2, advocating for sustainable development. The media has a crucial role in advocating for sustainable practices that protect our environment and promote economic growth. Let us use our platforms to raise awareness about environmental issues and encourage sustainable initiatives within our communities. 3, fostering collaboration. Collaboration between media houses, government agencies, the church, the civil society is essential for creating impactful narratives. By working together, we can amplify our voices and drive meaningful change in our society. And 4, embracing technology. The digital age has transformed the way we can consume and share information. As broadcasters, we must embrace new technologies and platforms to reach wider audiences and engage with them in innovative ways. The Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2025 is an initiative born out of the fact that mainstream media in the state need urgent intervention so that the industry can thrive. The lack of funding, poor infrastructure, watery content, unhealthy competition, etc. These are some of the problems facing the industry, and we are set for a positive revolution. The Delta State Broadcast Media Conference is not just an event, it is a call to action. It is an opportunity for us to reflect on our roles as media practitioners and commit ourselves to unlocking the possibilities that lie ahead for Delta State. In a world that is increasingly interconnected, we must break down silos and work together across sectors. By fostering partnership between media organizations, government agencies, businesses, and civil society, we can create a robust ecosystem that supports creativity and innovation. Together, we can amplify our collective impact and drive meaningful change in our communities. As we explore these windows of unlocking possibilities, we must also embrace the technological advancements that are reshaping the media. From digital broadcasting to social media platforms, technology offers us unprecedented opportunities to reach wider audiences and engage with them in new and exciting ways. Let us harness these tools to tell our stories, promote our culture, and advocate for the issues that matter most to us. Let us leave here today inspired and determined to harness the power of media to create a brighter future for our communities. Together, we can unlock Delta's possibilities and pave the way for a more informed, engaged, and prosperous society. Permit me at this juncture, before I take my seat, to acknowledge the painstaking efforts of members of my local organizing committee, LOC. You've already seen them in putting this event together. Special mention goes to the convener, Ruki Onoro, aka Ruki the Icy Prince, for this laudable initiative. Ruki, you should come forward and take another bow, please. Put your hands together for Ruki. He's the young man that actually dreamt this. Thank you very much, Ruki. Please just take a bow. Let me see you one more time. All right? Take a bow, take a bow. Nice one, nice one. Our guest speakers, Rufao Senior of Arise News, who is presently in Abidjan, Ivory Coast, and couldn't be here in person. We have our own Maokbe Ogun Yusuf of Channels Television. Oji Okbe of What's Trending on the morning show on Arise News. She actually missed a flight. Peter Woche, the general manager, Mega FM in Warri, and an international broadcast media personality, Lady E. Umukoro. May I also acknowledge our esteemed panelists, Christine Emetulu, the general manager, DBS Asaba. Rex Okiche of City FM Lagos. Very tall man is here. Ochuko Orogun, seasoned broadcaster, retired but not tired. Unfortunately, Ben Okotiebo, the owner of the first 24-hour radio station in Delta, is unavoidably absent. Our wonderful sponsors, by the time we do the vote of thanks, I'm sure we're going to reel out all their names, and our partners. We thank you very much. The Honorable Commissioner for Information, I can't thank you less. And all of you, my colleagues from various radio stations, and of course, members of the public who are here, I appreciate all of you. as I look forward to the fruitful discussions and collaborations that will emerge from this conference. I thank you very much for your attention. God bless you.
There. Don't let it end there. Keep clapping till he gets back to his seat. Thank you so much. That was a powerful keynote address. I'm sure that literally gives us an idea of what we're going to be experiencing or learning today.
Indeed. Thank you so much once again, Mr. Sammy Fejoku. Please, a round of applause for him once again. He is the chair of the LOC. They are in charge of this conference. They have put together something that we believe will last for a very, very long time.
Of course, the Delta Broadcast Media Conference is here to stay. If you're excited, come on, put your hands together for that.
There's going to be a lot of clapping. This is what the conference entails.
Of course, so get ready for more, all right? All right, we want to quickly recognize some very important persons here as well. We have in our midst one of the SSAs to the Delta State Governor as well, Mr. Esiogene Obire, aka Excessive, is here. Can you please give us a round of
a wave, yes.
A wave offering? Thank you so much for coming. We recognize your presence.
We also want to recognize students of the Denis Osadebe Universities and, of course, the lecturers who also make these kids awesome. Please, if you're here, you can give us a wave. Thank you so much. Please, a round of applause for them.
Lecturers and students of Denis Osadebe
The lecturers and
University
students
here
of
in
Denis
Asaba.
Osadebe
We
University.
celebrate you. Thank you so much for coming. All right, quickly, before we go on to the next program of events, we have to take this with the speed of light. Quickly, I noticed that you changed your suit. What happened?
Oh, really? I did, and that's because it's getting even hotter and amazing. So, I mean, we're getting into the business of the day. I felt like a banker. I didn't feel right. I'm so sorry.
You didn't
If you're a
want to
banker,
look
I'm so
like-
sorry. I'm really so sorry. But
You don't want to look like a bank manager or a media personality.
well, as media personalities, we have the
You're very
pleasure.
flexible, right?
Yes, to be very flexible.
Okay.
And in a creative space where we all thrive, I believe that's one of the reasons why we decided to run this course. I mean, if you're not as creative and free wherever you are, you will not give your absolute best. But we would like to also welcome to the stage or to the podium Maokbe Ogun Yusuf to give us a keynote speech this morning.
All right, if your hands are not too busy, can you please put your hands together for our very first guest speaker for today, giving us her keynote presentation, her presentation.
Her presentation,
All
beg your
right,
pardon.
put your hands together for Mrs. Maokbe Ogun Yusuf from Channels Television. A round of applause for her. A round of applause for her.
Thank you so much, NK and Finest. Yes, please keep clapping. Clap for yourselves. Clap for yourselves. You are indeed a part of history, as I am as well today. I am very pleased to be a part of this gathering. The Delta, the first, the inaugural, the maiden. We can come up with so many other synonyms. Delta Broadcast Conference. And I like the fact that this event is about broadcasters. We know ourselves when we hear ourselves. Isn't that correct? I mean, you've listened to all of these fine speeches delivered in English that doesn't hurt your ears. So please, Once again, a round of applause for yourselves. I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, how is Ogun Yusuf from Delta? And perhaps from Delta than many more of you are. But you know, I think it was Finest that was saying something, or was it Rookie? It was Rookie in his speech that was saying, we have now developed a refrain that says, Delta, no they carry last. You know the beautiful thing about Delta State? In the area of broadcast and entertainment, not only do we not carry last, we come first. We come first. Just check it out. In the area of the private sector of media, who are those that are currently leading? Who owns Arise News? Who owns Channels Television? I've said Arise first because he's directly from Delta. My boss, my chairman, Dr. John Momo, he is from Edo State. And I think it was only recently I was talking with Senator Oshomole, and he was talking about how the broadcast space is dominated by Edo people. He was very specific. My in-laws, they are my in-laws. I'm married to a man from Edo State. He was saying that they're dominated by Edo people. So I said, see Channels. Channels is owned by Dr. John Momo. He's from Edo State. AIT. I mean, so you do know about it. The late Dr. Dokwesi, Chief Dokwesi, God bless him, is from Edo State. And now also joining the scene, I had to remind him, I said, in the days of Bendel, Uncle, he said, hey, when you now join Bendel, when you now go Bendel, we dominate the space. And it is not for nothing. I think we should own that with pride. And so I have to say to you, Rookie, and Mr. Samuel Fejoku and your wonderful team that has conceptualized this, you guys have done awesome. So a round of applause for that. I know how it was for Rookie to be able to reach me, and when they say it took months of planning, I don't know how much longer it had taken before they contacted me sometime in January. And how every month he'll keep tabs and say, it's May, oh, it's May 16. And I knew that, oh, Maokwe, you have committed to something that you cannot miss. But I dare say that I am indeed very proud and happy to be a part of this gathering. Asaba holds a very special place for me. The last time I was here, it was a thing of honor. I was here for the Sun Awards. They were holding an award and a conference, and I was being honored as a female journalist. The media had invited me, as another media house had invited me to be given an honor. Today, again, how many years after I'm being invited by my colleagues? So I know that this prophet has honor in our own home. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, I was just going to tell you very quickly. Yes, for those who are wondering how am I affiliated with Delta, I grew up in Warri. I spent my primary school years, my secondary school years. I went to Catholic Uwe Nursery and Primary School in Warri, Delta State. Shortly after that, I went to two primary schools. Hilltop Nursery and Primary School is in Ejaba. And then in secondary school, I went to the prestigious, I have to say that with respect, the prestigious Delta Steel Company Technical High School. If my people are here, please let them say hi. I see you there. Growing up here, my parents lived here for many years of their lives. They owned homes in this place before they eventually retired back to Lagos, where I am originally from. But when you spend that much of your formative years in this place, you cannot but identify and say that this is where I'm from. So when I like I'm I'm from Delta State. Anyways, Honorable Commissioner, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for being a part of this conference and representing very ably His Excellency Governor Sharif Oborevwori. Thank you. Please, let us be teaching them how to pronounce that name. is very important. I was going to start, to be very honest, I had the idea to sing a few songs because, as they said, you know, you cannot talk about Delta without talking about the religion it practices. And it's one of the ways I remember my formative years in this place. But knowing that time is fast spent, I might as well just jump to the topic, and maybe I'll just hail all of us. Urobo Wado. I know it's in the house. Isoko Wado. Asaba. Anyama Wado. Another here. Ijo Wado. Delta Broadcasters Wado. Now thank you. Wekubirie kagena. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for that. I have been given the topic to speak this morning, and I'm not going to take a lot of your time because this is something that we all know very much about. I've been asked to speak on creativity in broadcast media industry. How can Delta broadcasters be creative? That's the topic that I have been given to speak on. I've decided to modify it a little and modified it to beyond the script, creativity as a catalyst in modern journalism. So that is what I'm going to be speaking to, and I'm going to be speaking largely from my experience. I realize that, you know, when we give topics sometimes, it's not so that I will come and lecture you people. No, I'm talking about something you already do, something that you know more about than perhaps anybody else does. Creativity. Because that's the space in which the media, it lives, it eats, it operates, it survives. Creativity is a survival tool in the media space. So without much ado, I'm going to say that it is an honor to stand before fellow journalists, storytellers, and truth seekers. I'm going to take you back to a moment when, one of the things I'm known for is co-anchoring Sunrise Daily, which a program I've been on now for about 15 years or so. But one of the programs which I was given to start with, to create and, come up with the concept around it was called Hard Copy. I don't know how many of you have seen Hard Copy. It usually airs on Friday nights at 8:30 p.m. I recently, gave away my baby. But as I tell my friends, I said the baby could already talk, could already walk, and was already running. And at some point, you have to realize that perhaps it's time for other assignments. And so that's basically what I did. But Hard Copy was one of the things that really challenged my thinking, my creativity as a broadcaster. I didn't want to do a program titled Hard Copy because I felt that it put me on the spot. I had developed a reputation in the media as someone who asks hard questions. I did not deliberately set out for my questions to be hard or difficult. They just came. Sunrise Daily was a live program. It was not scripted. Whenever it is you're asking questions, basically, follow-up questions are usually the most difficult. So someone can tell you, oh, please send me, you want my principal to come, or you want my guest to come, please send me your questions. You send questions happily ahead, because you know that the key questions, the ones that actually define the interview, are not the first questions you ask. It is the follow-up. That's the secret. So, I was always the third anchor. There were two main guys, and then, the third anchor. The third anchor had the uphill task of listening critically to the responses being given and coming up every day with deeper questions that went beyond the surface of the answers that were being given. And I think that was how I developed my reputation as one who asked difficult questions. Now, here I was being given a new program. My boss thought, okay, you have been doing this for a while now, and everyone says, oh, this girl is really tough. Maybe she should have her own program, and it should be titled Hard Copy. I didn't want that. But at the same time, I knew that I wanted to have conversations that were meaningful. And so I had to find a way to reframe that program, never mind the title of the program. I had to find a way that reframed the program in such a way that made my guests comfortable to come, to talk to me, and at the same time made it meaningful enough to have the conversations. I don't know how many people know Hard Talk, the BBC program that has recently been arrested. How many people? Please, we have to watch international media. It's very important. Fantastic. I had to find, will I say, a middle ground between looking at some of the programs that aired internationally, while also putting into cognizance the resource that was available to us back home, what I really wanted to style my program after. And so I decided to go with Amanpour, because I thought she embodied what it was that I would like to do. I wanted it to be free to as many people as possible. I wanted it to be hard if need be. I wanted it to be soft. I wanted it to be relatable. That was what I wanted for Hard Copy. And so I decided, but in all of these situations, if I was talking to an actor, fine. We had a frank conversation. So in my own way of reframing the program, I decided that at every beginning, I would say, hello and welcome to Hard Copy, coming to you from hello and welcome to another evening of frank conversation on Hard Copy, coming to you from our studios in Abuja. It was always from Abuja. So frank was what underlined the conversation that I was going to be having. Whether I was speaking with an entrepreneur, whether I was speaking with an actor, whether I was speaking with a governor, a minister, whoever it was that I was bringing on my program, it was about having a frank discussion. And I think that for me, that now helped me have as many people as I wanted to, because I didn't want a situation where I was boxed, where I was handicapped. And if this person wasn't this, then the person was not a fit for my show. I wanted as many Nigerians, as many people from different walks of life as possible to be on that program. So I'll say to you that framing is very important in creativity, is a key ingredient in creativity. And we already know that. So I've just given the example of how this has happened for me in the course of my own storytelling life. And I think that is something that you should also find for yourself. How do you frame your programs? What exactly is the underlying frame? I'm looking for another word now for that frame. Can't seem to find it. But I hope you get what I'm talking about. Is anyone following me? Thank you very much. So framing is extremely very important. How we present our facts. As they say, creativity is what turns numbers into narratives, statistics into stories. An example you're already too aware of, when we were talking about the price of Gary, every time the NBS releases figures and says inflation is at 27%, is at 30%, you know what the price of Gary is saying. You simply go to a market woman and you ask her, Madam, how much was this Gary last year? She tells you. How much is the Gary today? She tells you. And you know that that already explains inflation to the everyday person in a way that they can relate with better than reeling out figures from the National Bureau of Statistics. Is anyone following me? Thank you very much. So framing is very important. Creative questioning is another area I'm going to be telling you about, which is an area that, when people ask me, Mark, what do you do for a living? I say I ask questions for a living. Yes, well, it basically summarizes most of what I have done in my career. But even in that, being able to ask questions is not just about putting a mic to somebody's mouth and saying, "What do you do? Tell us about yourself." It's more than that. You have to have done your research. In some instances, you might not know much about the person. So for instance, if you finish from this event now and you're about to just do your, what they call that now, maybe PTC, or you're about to just do some questions after the program with people of interest. You don't have to know much about them, but you have to ask yourself, why do I want to interview this person? What has piqued my interest about this person? Those are the kinds of things that should frame the questions that you ask, that should inform the sort of questions that you ask the person. That's the way that the creative side of you will be reflected, even in the manner of questions that we ask. So creative questioning, I'll give you a very, very everyday example. I'm thinking of how many interviews that I have done in my life. And sometimes when I just sit down to do the math, I think the last time I wrote a bio, I said I'd done over 3,500 interviews at the minimum. 3,000, because if you're doing interviewing 3 people on an average on a daily basis, think about that over a period of, say, 50 weeks. Maybe there are 53 weeks in a year. Okay, let's just even be modest and even say 45 weeks. You're not there every day. Just do the maths and see what you come up with. You surprise yourself just how frequently, how many people you've spoken to as a broadcast journalist. We take these things for granted. How we do it is very important. Creative questioning, getting to the human angle side of things, the part of it that makes it relatable. Listening with intent to follow up much later. Some of the questions that we have that have gone viral, the answers have made people laugh or reflective, or those have come from creative questioning. I remember one which I did with one of the ones that's very popular is Oga at the Top. If you go and see, is this what you are admitting to? Because the entire interview had happened. He had said it, he had insinuated it, but it wasn't clear. As far as I was concerned, it was something that you could easily miss. The creative side of you can go back and say, "Sir," as respectfully as possible. Let's be clear on this. I could have gone deeper and said, at that point in time, how do you feel now? Thinking back about what it is that you did, how do you feel admitting to that before the Nigerian people? That you subverted their votes. It might be a bit difficult, especially when the TV is not live, because they can start to beg you that you should please cut out those parts. But I tell you that creativity in questioning comes when you key into yourself, key into what the person in front of you is telling you, and an angle that you think that people who are listening to this conversation, or even you yourself as a Nigerian listening, would really want to hear more about. Those are the parts that, bring out empathy, the parts that are relatable, the part that make us all pause and reflect. So creative questioning comes in many ways, but I would say that intentionality is one of the places where we can start from. Intentionality to that is key. In the speeches that have been given, at the beginning of this conversation, we've spoken to the use of multimedia, the fact that we now have to speak fluently on almost all the platforms that we use. We know that if we do not speak, what will work for mainstream media will not work for social media, and that broadcasters of today must be flexible enough, must be adaptable enough, must be fluent enough in the languages that these different platforms speak. So that is another area that I would like us to look at. I've talked about creative framing, creative questioning, and right now we're talking about the creative use of platforms. Are we following? Are we still on the same page? So let us not poo-poo, because let us be very honest with ourselves. Our mainstream broadcast media has been disrupted. The advent of the internet, the advent of being able to upload videos on social media, the advent of a platform like YouTube. Just a few days ago, I was talking with someone who works with MultiChoice. MultiChoice is the owner of DSTV. And they were talking about how the existence of YouTube is a threat to their business. The advent of social media, Instagram, and the fact that everyone can now do a podcast is a real threat, is a real and present danger to the existence of our business. So we mustn't take that for granted. But while that might be a threat to mainstream media and owners, it shouldn't be a threat to the practitioners. That's the broadcasters themselves. Because you guys know more about content creation than those who have just happened upon it. Am I right or I'm wrong? The question is, how are you adapting to what it is that people want to watch? You're not you're not funny, you're not a comedian, that's not what you do for a living. But how are you making sure that people are aware of the issues? I mean, our primary duty as broadcasters is to inform, to educate, and to what? Entertain. If information is the primary reason why, is the primary area where you specialize, you have to do it in an entertaining way. It is part of the creativity that comes into it. How are we making sure that we're bringing that to bear on the different platforms that we belong to? Is anyone following me? So if, for instance, you're a news person, I will be very honest with you. I'm still struggling to speak the language on X. I'm struggling. Because I find that you have to find a different way, to communicate to the people on that platform. People on that platform, what do they say they like? Huh? They like what? Violence, exactly. That's the language of Twitter. I was not taught the language of violence in broadcast. But you do not have to speak that language. That I can tell you. If you are known as a person who is, I'm looking for the word now. If you're a person who is polite, and that is what you know how to, that's the only language you know how to communicate in, and you decide that this is going to be your platform, you will have your followers. Because not everybody is looking for violence. There are those who just want the news and they want to move on. That's why almost all the news medias, the news organization, the news media are on that platform, regardless of what it is that people say. And I think that even Twitter is beginning to, X is beginning to realize that, violence is becoming a thing that is discouraging the quality of the kinds of people that they want to see on that platform. So what they have done is that they've given us power, they've given users on that platform power over who can reply to what it is that they say. So let's make use of it. If you know how to communicate effectively in very short words, you do not have to subscribe. You don't have to have a blue tick. If you want to have a blue tick, that's up to you. But by all means, learn to speak the language. And those who are very good with the cameras, they're anywhere. They've taken a shot. They're anywhere. They've taken a shot. I'm not much like that. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best now to be more like that, because I realize that is, if I don't speak that particular language, I will fade into irrelevance. That is the truth. There are people who are looking for you on that platform, and you have to show up. And that's why you see, sometimes you put one post and you see like 100 people like it. You'll be like, oh, they're looking for me. Sometimes my first instinct is to want to hide under the table. But hey, it's what you do. If you do not fill up that space, somebody else who doesn't have half the information you have, or a quarter of the information that you have, will fill up the space. So own your space. Learn the languages for those platforms and speak it. Tell them that you not only speak on broadcast media where they know you on TV and radio, but that you can also be good on those platforms as well. Am I communicating with somebody here? So by all means, let us learn to speak the languages of our different audiences and on the different platforms. I'll also talk to you about creative resilience, which is another area I'm sure we all know about it. How many of us here have booked guests and they did not show up? What do you do? Does your program fail? Program is not allowed to fail. Show must go on. That's our mantra. Isn't that correct? So these are the different ways. As I said, I'm not talking to you about something that you don't already know. You know it. You know it. So apply it. Don't get discouraged. Apply it on a consistent and a daily basis. There was one time, I'll tell you what happened. Well, at that time, hard copy was still live. It was one of the reasons why I said, look, I beg, I don't have the adrenaline for this live show. I beg, it's giving me too much anxiety. Where you'll be expecting a guest is 8 o'clock, your guest is not yet here. 8:15, the guest is not here. The program is to go live at 8:30. 8:25, the guest is not yet here. Meanwhile, the program is all about the guest. So here I was at 8:27, the guest was not yet there. 8:30, and Channels does not joke. The moment it is 8:30, your montage is rolling. Madam, what are you going to put there? The guest has still not shown up. I had to quickly drag two of my colleagues. At that time, Shewon Okimbaloye just finished his program, and my colleague, Lanre Lasisi, just finished his program as well. I was going to be talking to, I think it was a woman APC leader. At that point, they were having a convention, and it was supposed to talk about women in politics, how women fared in their last convention. And somehow, she just did not show up on time. So I dragged two of my colleagues. Shewon was there, the political correspondent. I dragged Larry Lasisi. He has covered the National Assembly for many years. And I put the two of them on my program. Both of them stood. I stood in front of them. And I asked them the questions I would have posed. They gave me the answers. We had a really good show. Nobody called me to query me. I didn't get a query. And I communicated. And the show was a success. It was not what I planned, but it was something had to happen. The show had to go on. I'm sure that you can give numerous examples from your own experience of how you have shown creative resilience. So sometimes it's about putting a name to what it is that you do on a daily basis. All right? And then lastly, this is the last one, the tools that we use. We must learn to apply those tools creatively. They spoke about digital technology. We all know digital technology. We know the power of this phone, this mobile device. We know the power of our iPads, etc., etc. What we're now being told is the power of AI, artificial intelligence. How many of us dread artificial intelligence? How much do you know about it? Can I see your hand up? How many of us are already beginning to use it? I like it. Sorry? On what? It's not easy. Well, it's supposed to make your job easier. How many of us are afraid of it? How many of us fear that it can take our jobs? A few days ago, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I think it was TVC that mentioned that they have launched their first AI anchors. Did anybody see that? Were you afraid when you saw that? You're not afraid? I like Una mind, I swear. Oh, well, I mean, these were clones, actual clones of some of their broadcast personnel, of their broadcasters, who could speak different languages. So right now, they're going to be having anchors delivering the news in Hausa, in Igbo, in Yoruba, perhaps also in Pidgin English, I'm not sure. I saw that online. I think I also saw colleagues writing that the NBC would need to step into that space as well to see how they can regulate the use of AI anchors. I don't know what shape or form that is going to take, but clearly when we start these things, we have to think through the consequences. But while we're wondering how that is going to pan out, and I like the fact that you people are not afraid, what I would like to say is that AI for now is a tool that can help us. How many of us know how to use ChatGPT? Fantastic. Now, ChatGPT is not meant to take the place of your brain. It is meant to assist you in the thinking that you come up with. Ask it anything. Run the questions by it again. If it writes an essay for you, make sure you go through it, check the facts, know how to pronounce what it is that it has given to you, and then own it. It will only give you what you put into it. So you put in garbage, what do you get? Garbage in, garbage out. You're correct. You put in something that has sense, what does it give you? It will give you sense. It will return sense to you. So, dear fellow broadcasters, we now know that creativity is not decoration. It's not something that we have to worry and really fret about when we think of creativity. It's what we do. It's who we are. We are creatives. So let us not be afraid to imbibe. I don't know, I think there's just one last thing I'm going to say as I wrap up, is that, and I heard Rookie, mention this in his speech. I also heard Mr. Sam